we are dealing with more than just natural disasters now. And in fact, this morning I was asked in an interview about the conflict in Europe, and they asked, do you consider that a disaster? I said, absolutely. It disrupts the flow of commerce. It's disrupted, but the human element is, you can't measure that. But what you can measure is economic ramifications. And for communities that have economic development as a very important part of their community agenda, this is critical that you understand how to deal with these types of things. The supply chain disruptions because of COVID, that was absolutely, again, a hazard, as those in the profession call it. It was a hazard, and we had to learn how to deal with that. So we try to address a broad range of elements and impacts in this 50 questions, but they cover a wide variety of different types of hazards and disruptions.
Yeah, natural disaster risk and man-made disaster risk and cyber attacks and terrorism, pandemics, yeah, the gamut. And I think communities are really responding. And Bruce, to your earlier question, we're starting to see communities in California and South Carolina and Mississippi adopting this and seeing it as a best practice, and also as a way that they can engage their local stakeholders and understand, report back to EDA, as I mentioned earlier. So I think it's really exciting to see it coming to life and being so heartily embraced by the economic development community at all different levels.
Yeah, and I think that's a really important point, Calandra, and then Bruce, I'll let you come in, but I wanted to grab this while it was out there. I say resilience is a team sport. And one of the things that is a watchword of our system is bringing everyone to the table, because economic development impacts every part of the community, and every part of the community impacts economic development. And when you talk about resilience, that's even great. That's even more emphasized. So I think, again, what we're trying to do is find a way for everyone to come together, focusing on the economy and the business community and economic development, and doing what is necessary for these communities to be able to adapt to a very, very rapidly changing world.
And that connects the dots between local communities and regional planning organizations, right?
Yeah, the economic development districts, they used to be called planning districts, but now they broadened it because the organizations have broadened. Yeah, and those are the the foundation of regional activity and regional collaboration, which is the most important word, is collaboration. So this just plays right into that.
Yeah, it's nice because it really gives you, it outlines for you who all of those stakeholders in your community are. So it's everything from your nonprofits to your volunteer fire department to your police to your universities and government agencies across all levels, from local to FEMA and EDA. And so it's a really it's a valuable tool that way as well, because it takes the guesswork out of the situation.
Yeah. So just briefly, Calandra, can you tell us, I know you've just recently taken this into the marketplace. Can you tell us what kind of reception you've been getting? What are your customers saying about it?
Yeah, they love it, because actually what they say to us, without us even having to say anything about it, is that they love that it has that tangible step-by-step framework. So it's not just a self-assessment, it's actually the steps that they need to take to implement. And they see that as a huge differentiator, because everybody wants to be more resilient. It makes sense, right? And we have all kinds of increasing hazards. Nobody planned for a pandemic. Nobody wants to have a natural disaster. Nobody wants to even think about cyber or terror attacks, right? So, but these are all things that are increasingly prevalent. And as David said earlier, that businesses are looking for. So I think the reception to it has been actually overwhelming. Everybody's really excited about it, and they see it as a big differentiator for their community as well.
If anybody's interested in this, do you have some kind of a demo or something that you can show people?
Yeah, absolutely. They can just reach out to David or to me, and and we can set up a demo on Zoom or in person or however they like to do it.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up. Thank you for joining us on the show today. It was fascinating as always. We look forward to seeing you again in the future. That's it for us.